Talk about something that's not horse related. And my sons watch this and their friends, so it's to them as well. And this is everybody in Indiana and the Chicago area. Every day you will read in the paper or hear in the news that someone drowned in Lake Michigan. And there's a reason for this, and I'm going to explain what happens. I worked the tugboats for 2 years down in Calumet Harbor. And every day we would take barges over to Burns Harbor in Indiana. And you'd be about a mile out from Burns Harbor, and you'd see this oily substance on top of the water coming from the mills and the steel plants. Now, don't ever swim in Lake Michigan. Not only is it toxic, but it's pretty much a small ocean. It's not a lake. It has currents, it has swells, it has tides. It's a big lake. So what happens is I want you to picture a Ferris wheel under the water, rotating. Well, the riptides in Lake Michigan work like that. They don't drag you out, they drag you under. It's a phenomenon, I don't know what it's called, but you can look it up, it's a true fact. So there's currents all over Lake Michigan that are like a Ferris wheel. So what happens is you jump in, if you find one of these riptides, it's gonna drag you under. Now what most people do is they wanna go to the top, so they're fighting against the riptide, which is impossible. It's too strong. The power of a riptide, no man can beat. So they panic, they try swimming upwards and drown. Now what you're supposed to do if this ever happens is you either swim sideways to get out of it, or you let it spit you out the other side, which is hard to do when something drags you underwater. A natural instinct is to fight that. So if you're ever in Lake Michigan and that happens, that's what you do. Swim to the side or let it spit you out on top. You don't fight against it, but don't swim in Lake Michigan, because when I was working the tugboats, we were trained that if you went in the water, not to swallow it, because you would only have about 30 minutes to live, because it's so toxic that they would have to pump your stomach. We wore red vest, and it wasn't to keep us afloat. What it would do is you would get dragged into the sludge, and 3 days later when your body would gas up, it would float to the surface, and we would have these red vests on that could identify the body. It happens every day. Don't swim in Lake Michigan.